This program is brought to you by the following proud sponsors. The Alltech Media Group, the region's leading multimedia video production and marketing company, creating powerful and innovative marketing strategies that deliver exponential returns. And by California CEO Online Video Business Magazine, providing California's executives and regional leaders with economic development resources and regional branding solutions. And by StudioCast Pros, taking your web branding strategies to a new level by creating world-class online programs proven to engage audiences and enhance profits.
Good morning, Riverside, and welcome back to 1 Million Cups. We have a presenter today. His name is Jay Goth, and he's going to be talking about repurposed plastics.
Thank you, Ralph. Good morning, everybody. Today I'm here to talk to you about a problem that we have in our environment that is massive. It's called plastic. You know, if you look at the world, we've got plastic everywhere. Everywhere you look, you see plastic. In fact, over 300 million tons of plastic are produced around the world every year. And when we're done with it, what do? We throw it away. It ends up in landfills, places like this. And while our use of plastic has gone up and up and up, our recovery of plastic remains very, very low. You would think that when you put stuff into a blue bin, that the plastic gets recycled, but in fact only 8% of the plastic that goes into those blue bins actually gets recycled. That's the lowest amount of any type of recyclable material. So what happens to that plastic? It ends up in landfills. Even worse, it gets littered and goes into our waterways, where 3 to 5 million tons of plastic ends up in the ocean every year. It washes up on our beaches, or even worse, it has an impact on the animal life. You can see this albatross on Midway Atoll ate so much plastic that it died. Enough said. So we've got an idea. What if we take all that plastic and actually turn it into products people can use, like building products, playgrounds, picnic tables? The demand for that kind of product is huge. If you see this slide, you can see that it's expected to be over $5 billion next year. With that kind of demand, there are all kinds of companies that are in the market. So as you can see, there are a number of companies that are actually making plastic lumber today. But the problem they have is they can only use 2 grades. They use mainly the number 1 and number 2 plastic, which makes it a very high value commodity. What that means is they have to pay a lot for their feedstock. We have the only system in the world that can actually take all kinds of plastic, even the ones that are considered unrecyclable, like styrofoam, and turn it into products. It's called jet technology. There are over 160 facilities around the world that are using jet technology today, but none in the United States. We are going to be the first company to produce this type of product. I'm building a facility right here, about 2 miles from here in Paris, California. It's going to be about 52,000 square feet, and it's going to produce these plastic products using this advanced jet technology. And what we'll be able to do is offer a product that's at a lower price. It's actually better than what's on the market today. It's green. It's actually 100% recycled plastic. There's nothing else in there. And we get higher margins because we're using the plastic that nobody can do anything else with except either throw it in a landfill or ship it off to China. We've combined our efforts with the International Environmental Youth Campaign, which has created a dynamic cause-related marketing program that'll actually get the word out to consumers that there's a new product on the market. And so we're working with people like Lowe's, Home Depot, and Costco, and the International Environmental Youth Campaign to get the word out and to provide a good product to the customer. So each plant can consume 25 million tons of plastic waste every year. We can sell it at a little over $1 a pound. We have a 60% gross margin. We're looking at about a $10 million pre-tax profit every year off of one of these plants. So in 5 years, I want to build 12 plants. We'll do about $427 million in revenue, and our pre-tax profit will be close to $200 million. Our targeted launch is January of 2016, and I'm looking for help from the 1 Million Cups community to make this a reality. Thanks a lot.
All right, Jay. So I have one quick question, and I want to turn it over to the audience to ask some more questions. You said only 8% of the plastic that goes into the blue bins actually gets used. Why is that?
Well, we have water bottles. Those are easily recyclable. That's called PET plastic. Mm-hmm. So we have a lot of recyclers that can recycle those. However, besides PET and HDPE, which is like the plastic milk jugs, mm-hmm. all of the rigid plastics, styrofoam, agricultural film, shopping bags, all that plastic is currently unrecyclable. There's no easy way for somebody to turn it into resin, which is what goes into plastic products. So basically what they do is they bale it up, it's all mixed plastic, and then they ship it to China where it's burned for energy, which is a very wasteful use of a resource. So the way we look at it at Repurposed Plastics is, let's make that resource more efficient. So let's convert it into these building products here in the local area, so we're not using a lot of transportation energy to ship the stuff back and forth, and we're not burning plastic to create energy.
Any other questions from the audience?
Well, you were saying that yours is going to be 100% plastic. How does that compare to the plastic wood products?
Okay, plastic wood composite is more of a blend of plastic and usually something like sawdust. And while it provides them with a better stiffening agent, so it provides a stronger product, the problem is the other plastic that they use is still a number 1 or 2 plastic generally, and those have more flexibility, so that's why they have to use the sawdust. So ours uses all kinds of plastic, and it's specifically blended. It's a very involved process. It's not this isn't simple. It sounds simple, but it's not. In fact, I've had a lot of people who are in the plastics industry tell me that you can't do this. And after I sit down with them a couple hours and explain the process, they realize that we actually can get all these different kinds of plastics together into one homogeneous product, but we have to blend it very carefully. And we can blend it on the fly for different characteristics. So if we need something stiff, then we put in more of one kind of plastic than another. If we need it really flexible, then we put in one plastic versus another. But ours is all plastic, whereas if you're adding sawdust, you can't recycle that product. So if you make a deck out of a product that's made out of plastic wood composite and you decide to replace it later, you can't grind it up and turn it into plastic again because it's got that sawdust in it.
How are you going to get the plastic from wherever it is to your plant?
That's a good question. We specifically site our plants near what are called material recovery facilities. So generally when a trash company goes out to pick up the garbage, you have a couple of bins in front of your house. One can be a black bin that has all of your trash, and then one has a recyclable bin. The recyclable bin goes to one of these material recovery facilities, and they separate out the paper, the cardboard, the plastic. They pull out the high value plastics that I was talking about, and then the rest of the plastic goes into a pile. So all that plastic gets baled up and sent to China or goes into a landfill. So what we can do is we can take that plastic from the material recovery facility. So when I built my plant, or started building my plant, it's not built yet, I located it just 2 blocks from a material recovery facility that's processing a bunch of plastic. So I get all of my plastic from 2 blocks away. I've also got a recycler who does the water bottle recycling about 2 miles away, and they've agreed to sell me all the plastic that they can't use. Then I've got another water bottle recycler up in Riverside who's agreed to do the same thing. So I can get all of my stuff locally, and then I can ship out my finished product to the Home Depot warehouse that's just a couple miles away, or there's a Lowe's deep warehouse too. And in full disclosure, I don't have any agreements with them yet, but I do anticipate that we will, because who wouldn't want to sell this kind of product and get the halo of helping the environment?
What is the likelihood of other competitors coming into the market with the jet technology, and how will that affect your projections going forward?
That's a good question, and this is a patent process. It's a patented process, and those patents are very closely held. So we do have the rights to North America through the company that I work with, Jet Recycling America. And so nobody can come in without Jet Recycling's approval, and they provide protection for me on that front. So nobody else can use jet technology in my local area.
So are you just recycling the plastic and then reselling it to people to whatever they want to create with it? Or are you actually creating products within your plant, or are you bringing people in to create products in your plant for them? How's that work?
That's a great question. And what we do is we sell both plastic lumber products. So that would be like 2x4s, 2x6s, 4x4s that people can actually create stuff with. And you can cut it, you can saw it, you can drill it, you can nail it, you can glue it, you can paint it. So it's just almost like wood. Or we have this very advanced robotics facility that'll actually, you can order a gazebo from us, and we can actually engineer a gazebo on the fly to your dimensions, and the robots will pick the stock out of our finished product inventory and cut, saw, miter, and put the whole thing onto a pallet, and we can ship it to you, and you can build it in your backyard in as little as a couple hours.
So can you colorize the product before you ship it?
We can.
Okay.
So we can make products in specific colors. We have about 5 basic colors. We can't make white because that would be impossible. We can't pull the color out of plastic. But we can make everything from a tan up to a dark, almost black color.
All right, another question.
How does your plastic wood product you're talking about compare in price to wood products?
Okay, it's more expensive than wood, but then our product can go directly into the ground. It can be used in water applications because it's plastic. You can't get rid of it. That's why it's so great. So we offer a forever guarantee. We guarantee that if you buy our product, it'll last forever. So it'll last past my lifetime, your lifetime. Wood degrades over time, and you can't put it directly in the ground or in water because it'll go away. If you use pressure-treated lumber, then you can do some of those applications, but you still have, over time, you'll have it fall apart and rot, and it's more expensive than our product. Our product is cheaper or on a par with pressure-treated wood. And there's no leaching, no chemicals go out into the environment like you do get with some of the pressure-treated lumber has some corrosive material.
So what would be the big applications for the product?
Well, we've seen a lot of applications around the world. Australia has a company that's selling this product. They're the largest plastic recycler in Australia, and they've used it in the seawalls. They've used it, they have 200 different products that they make, from park benches to picnic tables. There's a company in Hungary that actually has very intricate designs for municipal parks and stuff like that. So there are playgrounds being made of it. So you can do just about anything with it. It's really whatever your imagination says. What you can't do is create very thin things or very intricate things, because it's not like a traditional plastic that you can mold. You have to mold a bigger piece.
Structurally, how is it? If you were to use this plastic to build a patio for your home, would it be structurally sound and right?
Like I was saying, we can create a blend. So we have a number of ASTM designations on our plastic products depending on what you need. So we can make rigid building materials. We can actually make an entire house out of this plastic.
Wow.
Are there enhancements being made to the jet technology to allow you to produce the product cheaper as time goes on?
Right now, our margins are so high that I don't think we're going to run into a price problem. And one of the things that the retailers we've talked to is while they're getting commodity margins on the things they sell, we're offering them much larger margins, sometimes 2 to 3 times the margins they see on traditional material. and we're still making a huge profit, as you saw in the presentation.
Do buildings like houses and stuff with this material, do you have to get that, our lovely state of California likes to throw rules on everything. Is there any type of license code
yeah.
or anything you have to meet, or how is it with fire? You know, is it gonna?
Right, that's a good question on the fire. This product is self-extinguishing, so if you put a flame directly on the product, you'll see it start to burn a little bit, like a blowtorch will cause a little fire, but as soon as you pull that heat source away, the fire goes out. So I can't say it's not flammable, but I can say it's self-extinguishing. And there are code things that you have to do, but we do have ASTM specs, so all of that will have to go through the approval process, but we'll do that so that when people do want to build, they'll be able to get those code approves.
Are those specs met from state to state, or is that sort of?
It's a standard code.
Is it standard code? Okay.
Yep, depends on the blend, and then we get a certain product blend coded, and then that's good across the country.
Okay. Any more questions?
Will you be recycling the product yourself as well? If somebody has purchased some of the lumber in the past and they no longer need it, would you be collecting that as well?
Yeah. Yeah, we can take it back, grind it up, and make more product.
So you're planning to launch in 2015 or 16?
16.
In 16. So right now, what are you looking for, and how can the 1 Million Cups community help?
Well, obviously, a project like this requires a lot of money, so I'm talking to people about, putting the money together. The other thing is we're going through city approvals and all. We have to go through the recycling, because they want to make sure that we're not, putting any emissions in the air or any of that stuff. So we're looking for help from the community in different ways. We'd like, say, letters of support, any kind of public awareness, letting people know what we're doing. That would be very helpful.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for presenting at 1 Million Cups today.
Thanks.
All right.
And thank you.
This program was brought to you by the following proud sponsors: the Alltech Media Group, the region's leading multimedia video production and marketing company, creating powerful and innovative marketing strategies that deliver exponential returns. And by California CEO Online Video Business Magazine, providing California's executives and regional leaders with economic development resources and regional branding solutions. And by StudioCast Pros, taking your web branding strategies to a new level by creating world-class online programs proven to engage audiences and enhance profits.